What's up, players? Welcome to the Chiptooth Podcast, Chiptooth Gaming's weekly conversational nerdy news show discussing all the topics of the week in the nerd sphere. I'm your host, Mike Doherty, and alongside me today is old trusty himself, Kyle Bunyea.
Yee, flex on him.
Man, look at those guns.
Yeah.
Flex.
Yeah, no flab there.
Some Kevin Owens right there, man.
Look at that farmer tan. Ugh.
For those of you who don't know, Kyle is a professional wrestler who goes under the name of Kevin Owens.
Apparently, some kid swam up to me at a pool and was like staring me down. And my wife and I are sitting there on the edge and we're like, what the frick does this kid want? So I go, what's up, dude? Are you Kevin Owens? No, I don't know who that is. And if I would have known, I totally would have said yes.
I know.
Give
Dude,
the kid a little freak out, but
everyone go Google Kevin Owens right now.
I know. I just need to trim up the hair and do like the spiked look from like junior high.
Look exactly like him. It's uncanny.
It's really weird.
Well, Kyle, how are you on this lovely week of the last week in July, actually? Can you believe it's almost August?
Dude, it's almost my birthday. It's almost my birthday.
Birthday week. Man, we share a birthday month. I always forget that.
Yeah.
But I always forget everyone's birthday, so.
Yeah, because you're an inconsiderate friend.
Yeah, I am. But I mean, after a certain point, birthdays don't matter.
No.
I mean, realistically.
I know. It's just counting down the years till you're dead. Whoop-de-doo. We'll give you all presents.
Yeah. Well, I mean, eventually you stop getting presents too, so. Unless you have a cool wife like you, which that will eventually stop now that you have a kid.
No way, dude.
I give it 2 years before she stops getting you presents.
Nah. She's too cool. She's too cool.
Yeah, she is. You're right. Well, Kyle, what have you been up to?
That was a very vague question. Been up to a lot of things.
You're selling your house still? No one's bought it?
Trying to.
No one's bought the piece of trash?
Hey, it's only been 2 weeks. That's not that bad. We've had.
It's only 2 weeks?
Yeah,
God, that's so far away.
We've had 6 showings in 2 weeks, so it's pretty good. Had an old dude come by today. Really liked it, so we'll see. See what happens in the next couple days. Shout
out to old dude.
Hopefully he buys it. But other than that, nothing.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Splatoon, man. Splatoon.
We'll get into that later. That is our conversation of the week.
Splatoon. So how they should have did it. Splatoon instead of no, like Splatoon, yeah. Like SPLAT or 2OON. But no, they did Splatoon 2, whatever.
Okay. And is that it?
Yeah.
Remember Mario Kart? You're off the Mario Kart grind?
Oh, I played it a little bit today with my brother, but I unlocked everything. 3 stars on 200cc. You can only play online so much at a time before you need a little break.
No.
Little break.
We're getting into August. August has a lot coming out. You going to be picking up anything? Are you going to be picking up that Uncharted Lost Legacy?
No. If anything, I'm going to look at Mario versus Rabbids.
You dork.
Yeah.
You're going to pick that over Uncharted Lost Legacy, a brand new Uncharted game?
I just don't. I'm not all about it. I'm not all about what's-her-face and the other what's-her-face.
Chloe?
Yeah.
Chloe's awesome, man. She's probably the best character other than Sully.
The one minority woman and then that other minority woman. That's all I know. That's all I know.
Way to boil it down to brass tacks.
Anyway. No,
what else has come?
Madden always comes out in August. I don't think I'm going to pick that up. I have EA Play, so I'll just pick that up later this year.
I'm picking up Madden for sure. Everybody's Golf. I'm going to be picking up. Tacoma? Sonic Mania?
No.
Come on, man.
Sonic
some
sucks.
Hits.
Sonic sucks.
I'm looking at it, man. These next 2 months are packed.
You got a sprinkler in your house?
Yes, I am watering my carpet right now.
That's what it sounds like.
No, It's outside, man. All right. I can't help it.
That's awesome.
Well, I am still on that Crash 1 plat grind. This is the last one I need to get. I've gotten all the gems. Now it's just the relic grind, which is easier. Now, people who were turned off by the relics in Crash 1, I think they're actually the easiest relics to get. Now, that being said, I know you're all sick of hearing me talk about Crash. I almost put another Crash story in today. I stopped myself. We've talked it to death. I understand. But I'm going to jump into Gravity Rush 2 tonight. I promise myself that I'm going to actually play it. Stop with the sprinklers.
No, that's awesome.
I saw the hand.
I have to call you out on something. Your Let's Play.
What's up?
At the end, you were like, oh, cool, I only used 30 lives. You used way more than 30 lives. Because you got down to 50 before you got to the little bonus area. And then you picked up 20 lives while you were in there. So your math was off. Your math was way off.
Math's always off.
I was like, no, he died way more than 30 times. I've been watching this for an hour.
My math is way off. That's a story of something that I got so lazy with. I really didn't want to edit that down. I really didn't want to scrub through an hour of me dying. Because at that point, I was like, okay, I say things in between things sometimes. I could have gone back and just the times where I didn't say anything, just kind of chop it up.
No,
I guess I talked through the whole thing.
You know what you should have done? You should have just done a straight compilation of all the deaths. Start.
That's what I was going to think of.
Oh, let's see how many lives I have at the end, and then just tally. Do a counter up at the top corner every time you died.
God damn it, Katie, that's a good idea.
And then it would have been 5 minutes as opposed to an hour.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do originally. I was gonna do a death compilation, but that's a lot of work. 1, 2. I think people wouldn't stay for 5 minutes.
5 minutes of just counting.
Because some of the deaths look exactly the same. Because I died in the same place 9 different times.
No, you break it up by the parts where you actually got through. So death, 30-second stretch of gameplay, death, 30-second stretch of gameplay, and then 30 more deaths.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I got lazy. I didn't want to do that. That's a lot of editing. That's a lot of time.
It's summertime.
I just wanted to get it up.
What do you have to do?
I know. I could have done it. I feel bad. But thanks for watching it. And if you want to know what we're talking about, go over to youtube.com/chiptoothgaming right now where you're watching this. And just click over to the Crash Bandicoot Stormy Ascent Let's Play. There's some gems in there. I sing a lot.
Drop a lot of F-bombs, too. I had to turn the volume down. I was oh, I'm at work. Goo.
Sorry, you never know what you're going to get with my content.
No.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Let's get into the Doherty report.
Okay. I'm down.
Roll the graphic. That's what the music sounds like?
I was thinking Wayne's World. You seen Wayne's World?
Yeah. Perfect. Man, I should make a graphic and then just do the newsroom intro song and then cut in.
Yeah.
Go check it out. It's a great show. One of my favorites. Bunyea. Let's jump into the news. GameSpot. I always mess those up. GameSpot is reporting Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, launches in October, but publisher Bethesda has already unveiled the game's DLC plan. The shooter will receive 4 expansions as well as a newly revealed Freedom Colossus Season Pass, which costs $25 US. I don't know the other two. Some made-up money signs. The first of these expansions, called Ep.17, will be available at launch for Season Pass holders as a free bonus to those who pre-order. The add-on will introduce you to the trio of playable heroes who will star in the subsequent 3 DLC packs, which will arrive post-launch. Bunyea. Thought Season Passes were at least some way done with. I thought we were past it. What do you think? Wolfenstein 2 DLC.
It's kind of dumb. Like, it just bugs me because I'm like, if you already have episode 0 done, why don't you just throw it in the game and be like, hey, buy our season pass because this is the kind of content you're going to get with it. But it's part of a bonus for people who pre-order the season pass version, correct?
Yes.
That what you have to pre-order the season pass to get episode 0, which is stupid. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to want more of your content. I don't know if the game's going to be good. It's Bethesda, so you know it's going to be good, but I don't know. It's just, I'm tired of developers holding things back for pre-order bonuses or whatever and just being like, no, you get this when you spend a little bit extra money. I'm already dropping $65 after taxes on your game. Why don't you just give me that for free since you already have it done?
Yeah. Well, done, and they're already planning, like, they're already working on the other, like, the expansions. So it's like, why don't you just put full force into the game and then worry about DLC after, because DLC is supposed to be after anyway. Like Horizon. I think Horizon did a beautiful job of, okay, we're going to launch this game, and then we're going to talk about our DLC.
Agreed. Well, for me, like, I'm not going to sit there and pre-order a season pass. That's dumb. Like, me buying the DLC is like me, it is me saying, I really love that game and I want it to keep going. I'm not going to pre-order DLC before I even play a minute of the game. For me, that doesn't make any sense. And I don't understand. And I know there's consumers out there that do it, that buy the season pass day one. And it's just like, why are you doing that? Why are you encouraging this? Because it's irritating because you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting and you're paying a ton for it. Like was it Battlefront? Their season pass.
The one Battlefront one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Their DLC
Disaster.
was freaking terrible and they had a $50 price tag on their season pass. And a ton of people bought it.
Yeah. It's almost like you get so focused on what you're doing after when you're making the game that you forget to make the original game. Like, we see this time and time again where it's like they put someone's emphasis on the DLC, but or there's something wrong, or like you said, it's already done. Just throw it in there. Like, and then the thing that always worries me about DLC like this, like pulling things from the game and keeping them as DLC, is when do we get to the point to when it's like we start pulling features from the game, or like DLC to get the real ending kind of a thing.
Right. Well, I don't think it's ever going to get to that point because I think consumers did speak up a little bit with EA and their price jack for the Battlefront DLC. But anytime microtransactions are brought up, that's what scares me with microtransactions, like pay to win kind of games. When Destiny 1 last year brought in microtransactions, people like freaked a little bit because they were like, great, are we're gonna pay to get this silver to buy exotics or buy exotic shards or whatever. It ended up not being that. It ended up just being cosmetic and like emotes, but
as it should be.
Right. And I agree. Like, if people want to spend the money for the cosmetics, go ahead. But eventually one of these big developers is going to try it. They're going to say, you know what? And Call of Duty kind of did it with their last, they all blur together because it's every freaking year. But the last year's Call of Duty, you get these care packages, but you get garbage in them. And then you have these kids that are spending $100 on care packages and getting these amazing weapons and shredding everybody with them in the first week. And it's like, cool. I am going to have to spend some money if I want to catch up, if I want to get this exotic weapon. It ruined that Call of Duty for me because the multiplayer was just so unbalanced in the beginning because there was people dropping hundreds of dollars getting these crates, and they're running around with these guns that fire faster, they're more powerful, they have more range. It's like, ugh, it ruins it when you go that far.
Yeah, I mean that's always the issue with multiplayer games. I remember Starhawk had an obscene one where it's literally like 6 months after they launched the game, they added like this like mech suit that you can run around in. And it was seriously the most overpowered thing. Like basically, if that person on your team had that, you won. Like that's just how it went. And it leveled everything. But this is unique because Wolfenstein's single player.
Mm.
So it's like it's not like they're adding something to the game. They're taking away something from the game and holding it for release later.
Right. And that's
this day one DLC. And I guess DLC, like I said, I don't have a problem with after. Sorry, cut you off.
No, you're good.
After launch, of course not. Like if you want to keep supporting your game, keep supporting your game. But I mean, that's awesome. Like be able to be that little guy for the community and keep your community going. But for a single player, when you have day one DLC for a single player story game, it's like just throw it in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the main thing with this is like that sticks out with this story. It's there. It's there. You really want people to buy your season pass? Give them this for free, and if it's good enough, it'll have legs, and people will be like, I want to find out what those other stories are. I want to finish the DLC story.
In this, it's talking about how this will basically set up the other 3 DLC packs. Okay, so like you said, just give it to them, and if people are interested in those stories to see them go farther, then they will.
Yeah.
Like exactly what you just said. It's like the perfect example is the Uncharted DLC. You know, Nadine and Chloe got their stories in the game, and now they're adding to them. And if people were interested in them in the actual game, then they're going to go, and of course they're going to go play as Chloe and Nadine in the new Uncharted DLC.
Right.
Does that make sense? It's like you can just build off that. Just day one DLC, just throw it in there, give it to us, and then let us decide if we're intrigued with these characters.
Agreed.
I know it's greedy. I don't like it.
Agreed. Well, in Bethesda, the last guy, let's be real, the Fallout DLC sucked. Far Harbor was okay. It felt short to me. And DLC is not supposed to be long, but I expected more given the track record that Bethesda has with their awesome DLC packs that they've done in the past with all the stuff that was with Skyrim and all the stuff that was with Fallout 3. I was expecting a lot more than what I got with Far Harbor and Nuka World, and then the stupid freaking settlement building stuff that nobody cared about that should have been in the game to begin with, because it was literally like, hey, look at these mechanics we're going to add to settlement building. Give us $5. It's like, why didn't you just do this from the beginning? And then they're becoming quickly one of my least favorite developers in the way they handle business with their consumers, because now they're releasing Skyrim for the 5th time. Give us a new Elder Scrolls. Stop giving us Skyrim over and over again. They're just in it for the money right now. And granted, they're a business, but it just feels like they're so detached from their audience right now. It's irritating.
Yeah, how many times can we play Elder Scrolls Skyrim? Like, it was like, first of all, I don't even know how the Switch is going to run that. The PS3 could barely run it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not getting it for Switch. I have the Xbox One version. I got my mods. That was cool enough for me to jump back into it, because that in and of itself is like, here's an endless amount of free DLC that we're putting in this game. You just have to buy the game again. I'm okay with that. But now they're talking about doing paid mods. And it's just like, oh, God, stop squeezing us
they
for
do everything so
have.
Backwards.
Yeah.
Backwards publisher.
Speaking of backwards.
Stop, don't steal my.
I knew you were going there. I knew it.
Speaking of backwards, the TSA is now making it an even more difficult process to get through their freaking stupid lines. Up until now, you've been able to leave an iPad, Vita, or a Nintendo Switch in your backpack or suitcase to go through the luggage scanner. That's no longer the case. Those devices will now be pulled out and put in a separate bin to go through the security. Although TSA announcement was unclear, it appears that smaller devices can go into a single bin together as long as they do not overlap each other. Boo.
Yeah, sucks.
I hate the TSA with a passion.
Yeah, you save it for chip tooth life. All right.
No, this makes it so much more difficult. And yes, it is nice. Before, everybody thought that it was gonna have to be one bin per thing. So like not your phone, but like your Switch or your Vita or your iPad would all have to be. So if you brought all three, you're using up 3 bins, and that's just gonna take forever.
Yeah.
In line. And don't tell me to save it for Chip Tooth Life. This is a conversational podcast, sir. You can talk about whatever I want on here.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your views on TSA.
And if you work for the TSA, God bless. I respect you. I don't respect the position, though. I hate the TSA with a passion. They shouldn't exist.
I think I would have a much easier time with them if they were like actually trained like cops.
If they actually stop something in their life of being around.
Well, it's just there's way more negativity that comes out of dealing with them than anything positive, and it's like most of it is because they're not trained the same way across the board. They don't have a background in this stuff. They're basically mall security that have power.
How about the fact that they've let more people through who are actually have stuff than they've caught? They'll make you throw out your freaking shampoo bottle, but they didn't catch the shoe bomber.
Yeah.
Like it makes no sense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're not trained. They just have regulations they have to follow. And if they were ex-military or ex-police officers, okay, they'd catch that stuff. But I think it was Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was saying when you go to the airport, you really feel like the TSA, everybody that works at the airport just like showed up that day and drew their job from a hat. So the guy who was working the Burger King fryer one day is now your TSA agent that's frisking your butt the next. And that's legitimately what it feels like.
Well, what'd you get today, Jimmy?
Yeah. Ooh, I get the rectal exams. Like
I got cavity search.
I get why they're there, but they need to be more efficient and more effective if they're going to be there. And this just seems unnecessary to say, okay, now you got to separate every single electronic into a separate bin and then scan that independently of all your other stuff. It seems weird.
I get it. Like I get the position of the TSA. I don't get why they are the government organization. They should be paid for by the airlines. They should be paid for by the airport. Like that right there clears up every problem I have with them. Like if you want to have ineffective security, go for it. Have the private business do that. You're not going to have the government tell me to throw away my shampoo bottle or just hassling old women at the airport. Like you watch some of these videos and these women are just like, not even the groping part, which is, again, why is a government agency doing that? Like, again, if it's a private agency, private company, you can do whatever you want.
I think the worst one was the special needs child that got frisked, and mom was like begging them not to do it in front of everybody. She's like, we will do a search. Just please let us go in a different room because he is not going to handle this well.
But he has touching anxiety too, didn't he?
Right.
Like being touched.
Right. And like I said, she was willing to comply with the search, but she asked if it be done not in front of everybody because her son was like 9 and struggled with this. And this is what I'm talking about. The feeling of mall security with power. It's like, give it to people that have actually had power and understand how to use it and understand how to use it responsibly. They're not going to pull a 9-year-old aside with special needs and be like, your mom strapped a bomb to you. Like, shut up. You don't need to frisk him in front of everybody.
And man, just like I said, first of all, people who can responsibly use their power, anybody with that much power, even cops, like it goes bad sometimes. Like,
yeah,
we've seen
absolutely.
Like there are people, when you give people that much power, they're still people. Like, we need to understand that, like, these are still people. They're still going to get power hungry. They're still going to mess up. But it's just something so wrong to me about the government doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. You want it to be private pay. I want them to be a little more experienced before they get hired.
Yeah.
So.
And both of those would be welcome changes, and I would stop hassling the TLC. Next story. Speaking of not hassling. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Speaking of hassling, the Pokemon Go Fest was in Chicago this Saturday in Grant Park. Kyle Bunyea, do you know what happened at Pokemon Go?
Freaking train wreck. Too many people showed up. The cell service couldn't handle all the people in this spot, so nobody could play the game. The CEO of Niantic goes out on stage and gets booed, and they start chanting, "Fix your game." And it's just like, oh.
The best part of that is like the hosts that, like, again, have no part in this. Like, it's not their fault, but they have to go out and act like everything's okay, and they're like, "How about you fix your game?" Like. You just hear that in the stream, just making awkward moments, and they just have to ignore it. Like, that's a nightmare. But as the story goes, Pokemon,
Pocket Monsters.
Pokemon Go developer Niantic hosted the game's first official live meetup this past Saturday at Chicago's Grant Park. But the event was infamously mired. Yeah, but I always think it's mired.
No, mired. Keep going.
Yeah, I know. Technical issues that prevented many attendees from being able to play the game, as resulted in some incredibly awkward moments on its live stream, as we talked about. Now, company CEO John Hanke has written a lengthy post on Niantic's website explaining what went wrong at the event. Technical issues with our game software cause client crashes and interfered with gameplay for some users. Hanke explains a more protracted problem was caused by oversaturation of the mobile data networks of some network providers. This caused many attendees to be unable to access Pokemon Go or other internet services. Network congestion also led to lock-in issues, which affected some users to be able to access the internet. Regarding the network issues, Niantic says it had prepared for the event by providing detailed estimates on attendance and required data throughput per user. That doesn't make sense. There's a typo in this. Data. Hold on. And some carriers. I'm falling apart here. Deployed cellular on wheels, cows, also known as cows, to extend their capacity through. Many attendees were still able. This is rough. I'm so sorry. Though many attendees were still unable to access the game, Wi-Fi was enabled by one provider as a solution, which helped some users, but not all. Sprint was on site as an official partner. Deployed a cow, and their network was busy, but it held up. Hanke says Niantic issued an apology to fans and for the issues and gave attendees full refunds as well as $100 in Pokecoins. The developer also unlocked the game's first two legendary Pokemon. I'm not going to even try to pronounce them for players around the world.
Lugia and Articuno. There you go. No, I mean they handled the fix of it well. I wouldn't be pissed walking away from that knowing, all right, they gave me a refund and they gave me $100 worth of their product, essentially.
You would be pissed if you, I mean, imagine how, like, think of how expensive it was to come out here for Kind of Funny Live. And that's only, like, not even that far away. That's only, like, 300, 400 miles away. Now imagine flying across the country or flying. Some people flew across the world for this thing.
They still got to be a part of the event, and they still got the Pokemon they wanted. It just didn't happen as fast as they wanted it to.
Well, these weren't the only problems either. Like, they didn't really have, like, coverage for the sun either. It's a hot day in Chicago, and just almost, again, all this would have been overlooked if, like, everything kind of went good. But when everything's going bad, like, that really adds to the
suck it up, fatties, drink water.
I don't know. I think it's they really screwed the pooch on this.
Oh yeah, it was a disaster, but they made up for it. Like, people can't be walking away that pissed off.
I mean, I would be.
I don't know. Thinking about Kind of Funny Live. If Connor and I drove all the way up there and something happened 10 minutes into the show where they had to cancel it, right? And like it just fell apart. And Tim came out and said, "You know what, guys, we're giving everybody a refund and everybody's getting 2 free shirts." Would you really be that pissed? Like, we still had a great weekend up there. Yeah, we missed out on the show, but they did their best to make up for it. And you can't be mad at that. You can't control every variable that's out there.
Yeah, but this is one of those things where it's like you had one job. You had one job, and that was to make sure that the game worked.
Yeah. Like,
that was the point people came out there. So, yeah. I don't know. We have very different perspectives on this. I feel like, and I feel for the guy because, like there's one point on the stage where he just went out on the stage with no microphone and just like sat like Indian style at the edge.
Yo. You can't say that anymore.
Oh my God.
I got yelled at for that once. It's crisscross applesauce.
Indian style.
Crisscross applesauce, son.
Say whatever crap I want.
No, it's cultural appropriation.
But yeah, so he went and sat Indian style at the edge of the stage and was just like talking to them. Pretty cool, and that we really didn't get reported on at all, besides like Kotaku or Polygon. Yeah. So I get it. I get that things happen, and honestly, this is a bigger story if they mess up again. Like if their next event, their next Pokemon Go Fest is a mess. I know. Is there anything more you have to say on this?
No, like I said, it went wrong. I feel like they handled it as best they could, trying to make it better, but can't please everybody.
I feel it. Well, I'm not going to do one of my lame segues. Our next piece of news is it's actually a video game launching, coming out, announced. Sims 4 is coming to PS4 and Xbox One, and I'm so excited, KB. Sims 4 has been confirmed for Microsoft's console as well as the PS4. The simulation title launched on PC back in 2014 and is now coming to consoles on November 17th. The console versions will include the base game plus many of content add-ons. The Sims 4 released on PC. According to publisher EA, the company can look forward to periodic game updates and extra content releases. I am going to platinum this game.
What? Watch. Ooh.
It's so good.
I don't care. I'll live my real life.
It's one of these games where I just hold near and dear to my heart, man. Like, this is one of the seminal gaming moments in Mike Doherty's life, playing The Sims 2 on PS2 with my 2 TVs by watching Seinfeld on the top one. I had the big CRT TVs, as you remember, KB, and they were stacked up on top of each other. And the top one, I always had Seinfeld going, and the bottom one, I had The Sims. I had my 2-liter Coke right next to me. And
how are you not dead?
I don't know.
How do you not have diabetes?
I don't know. I got that strong blood. But that's what I did. Like, it's those moments, and then I'd have friends come over, and then I think this was like elementary school when we were playing The Sims, so we'd make our crushes in the game, act like we'd marry them in the game, and live this happy life.
Then you hop in the heart-shaped bed, and you're like, oh no, what are they doing?
Oh no, I know what they're doing.
Yeah. No, one of the only thing I did in The Sims, I was like a terrible
lock them in the bathroom and then have them kill themselves to death.
Yeah, I'd box them in a room where they get no door, no toilet, no anything. They just pee in the same spot over and over and over again, and they died.
Oh, God, The Sims is so good. Trying to get abducted by aliens. The heart-shaped bed was always a big one. Like just as a dumb elementary schooler. You should go into VA for the next Sims game, Kyle.
I should.
You need to start a campaign.
I got
Get
that.
KB in The Sims 5.
I got that Sims flirt sound down. Yeah.
They do that too. God damn it. But here's another thing. I don't know if this has cheats. I don't think it has cheat codes. And I'm going to be really upset if it doesn't have cheat codes. And I actually won't platinum it if it doesn't have cheat codes.
I don't think you're going to get a trophy if you use a cheat, man.
I don't care. Oh, you're right. But who likes to play The Sims regularly? Just give me all this money so I don't have to go to work. That's boring.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I want to build dope houses.
Who wants to play this game and play it the right way? If I'm going to play the game, I'm going to go get a real job. I'm going to go make some real money. I'm going to make my house dope. Find me a wife or a husband, have some kids. I'm not going to, yeah, you cheat in that game. That's what you do. You type in the code, you get $2 million, you build a freaking like giant castle.
It's awesome.
And you make your guy pee on himself to death.
Yeah. Honestly, if it doesn't have cheats, like if I can't get $2 million somehow in that game, I actually might not buy it then, because that's a bummer. Because that's my favorite part. It's just buying a big plot of land and then building the dopest house I can in it. Like I like the MTV crib style houses on it. Yeah. Indoor pool. Like it was awesome. God,
yeah.
I love this.
No, the house building was always the best part. They're gonna have cheats. They gotta know that's the only way people played that game.
They have to. Like no one wants to play regularly, because with my imagination as a kid, like I'd like to go back to that and like be able to like do like dope houses and like, because as a kid, as you know, KB, you probably don't even know this. Me and my one of my friends back in the day used to just make like, we're gonna open an amusement park one day, and we draw out like what our amusement park would be. I love that kind of like scheming and imagining.
Yeah, you don't get to do that so much as an adult. The world really slaps you across the face and says, no dreams, no hopes. You're going to die alone. But I'm not. I'm happy. I have a wife and kid.
Well, we'll see. You got a little more time to live.
I'm happy.
But no, yeah. So I'm excited. Hopefully they have cheats. If they don't have cheats, I'm not excited. I just really want to build a dope house again in beautiful 4K.
Yeah.
Speaking of not beautiful 4K, that's such a bad one. The Nintendo Switch has sold nearly 5 million since its launch in March. The Japanese publisher announced today. The company stated in its quarterly earnings report that the hybrid console has shipped. GameSpot needs to sort it out. This says shifted. Shipped 4.7 million units by the end of the year. No, not sold either. Switch sales projected to reach 10 million by the end of March next year. The system's biggest sellers, now this is where it gets interesting, include The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which sold 92 million units.
What are those other 800,000 idiots doing?
4/5 of this console's base bought Breath of the Wild. Up to the end of June. So that's not even counting July. Though it's unclear whether this also includes Wii U software sales. So that's another thing to factor in. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, of which 3.5 million copies were sold in the same period. The only other Switch game to sell over 1 million units by then was ARMS, whose sales stood at 1.18 million. The console's latest big title, Splatoon 2, was not considered in the April through June report because it launched in July. The Switch's strong showing follows a launch that has shipped 2.7 million units in March alone. However, the figure applies that units shipped to retails only, not consumer sales.
I think the biggest surprise of that to me is the 1 million units for ARMS, seeing as how it was only out in June.
A new IP selling, how much was it? A new IP selling 1.18 million?
1.18 million. That's crazy because it didn't look like that cool of a game to me. I still don't own it. I'm never going to own it. Not a game I want. We talked about that last week. But I think that's the biggest surprise to me, is that game sold as well as it did.
Yeah, no, I mean that's huge. I mean, Sony would kill for any of their exclusives to sell 1 million every time, and it seems like Nintendo's hitting it. So the Switch is the tail of Vita, just a little more successful here. Very high attach rate on games, which you don't really see a lot from consoles. So I'm going to be interested to see how it keeps selling because, like they said, they're shooting for 10 million by the end of the year or next March.
You want to know what's crazy is I think that percentage of Switch owners, like the ratio of Switch owners to Zelda owners, is going to go up with Christmas. I think you're going to see that gap narrow. So you're saying 4/5. I think you're going to have almost 100% of Switch owners at that point owning Zelda, because the only ones that I can think of that don't own it are kids whose parents bought them the Switch and bought them Mario Kart. Christmas is coming around, Hanukkah's coming around, Kwanzaa, whoever the freak celebrates that is coming around.
But yeah, it's going to be I think it's going to be higher. I think it's
that is going to be the stupidest attach rate we've ever seen for a game, the percentage wise.
Yeah, guaranteed. I mean, only Nintendo can pull this off.
Other than Wii Sports, but you know, that's kind of fudged. So
yeah, bundle it in. Everyone will have it. So I guess this is a big fat Mikey was wrong.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It is selling insane, like crazy right now. Like I'm not gonna buy one. Fat and Angry is gonna be on this, and hopefully I can actually hit a Fat and Angry release date because I missed it. But it's gonna be all about consumer short-term memory, and I'm not okay with what Nintendo's doing. Like on the back end of things. Obviously they're making awesome games, but I'm gonna speak with my wallet. I have to. I need to be principled, KB.
My name's Mikey. I don't like good hardware or good games.
It's not good hardware. You can't even say it's good hardware. You know it's not.
The hardware is great. The accessories are crap. Like
the accessories I'm not even talking about that. The hardware is not great, KB. You can't say it's great. How do you talk to people?
I didn't say that part was great. That's what I meant by like accessories. It does what I need it to do. I don't need to talk to anybody. I don't need to talk to anybody.
Okay.
I don't need friends. I have my wife and my kid. That's it.
Spoken like a real married man.
That's all I want. Everybody else, go away.
Yeah. I'm not gonna buy one. I'm still stance on this, but this was a big fat I was wrong in my face. Like, if they could get it out, if they were able to produce more, then I'm sure they'd be blowing past 10 million.
Oh yeah, yeah. You still can't find them anywhere. People are still freaking out on all these different nerd groups I'm in, and so on social media are like, "Oh my gosh, Walmart just got Switches. Oh, Target, blah 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 blah," and then they're gone.
I consistently see them.
I don't know
in my area.
You know what that is?
The East Bay is just not popping.
No, you know what that is? That's divine providence, Michael. That is God telling you buy a Switch.
No, this is not. I refuse to. I really want to play Zelda. I really want to play Mario Kart. And Mario Kart's seriously the only thing that's like making me want to break this. And I'm probably going to break this. But for now, I need to be principled. I'm not. I don't agree with them. I don't agree with any of the business decisions that they make. Like, they're tone deaf.
I understand, and I agree to an extent, but you're missing out. You are missing out.
I really want Mario Kart. It would make for awesome Let's Plays.
Yeah, what? God.
And that's the only reason.
I can't believe I unlocked everything in that game. That's ridiculous.
KB, I wish you were up here.
Beat all the time trials. 3-starred all the 200cc courses. I can't believe I did that. Anyway.
You pull a Mikey on CTR, what I did on CTR. What's the time trials unlock, actually? I'm curious.
It's just different kart pieces. So each game mode other than multiplayer and battle mode unlocks a different gold something, whether it's gold Mario, gold kart, gold wheels, gold glider. So there's 4 different things you unlock. You do those through doing various game modes and completing them. So yeah. So the goal is to get an all gold loadout, even though I hate rocking the all gold loadout because standard card sucks butt.
Interesting.
I rock that Yoshi bike with the sponge wheels. Yeah.
No, Mario Kart really appealing to me. Still going to be principled. I'm going to crack eventually. But Nintendo, just listen. If they start listening, I'll buy one. Speaking of not buying something, it appears that the seemingly available SNES Classic pre-orders have been canceled, including those that were made shortly after it went live. Now, this is through Walmart. Walmart basically went live early with the pre-orders and really shat the bed.
Yeah. Go figure, a retailer screwed up something for a video game company.
Yeah, that never happens.
No.
Walmart is sending affected customers, including several of us. Oh, I know. I just ripped this article right from GameSpot. So
including several of us at GameSpot.
Walmart is sending affected customers the following email. Thank you for your interest in the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Edition. As you are aware, this is a highly sought-after console that will launch later this fall. Unfortunately, due to a technical glitch, the Super Nintendo Classic Edition was mistakenly made available last Friday evening ahead of the official release date. We regrettably will have to cancel this item on your order. We know this is incredibly disappointing to you and truly sorry for this mistake. It goes on to note that the credit cards have not been charged and those will be paid. And those who paid with a gift card or PayPal will receive refunds. It also encourages customers to continue checking Walmart's website, SNES Classic page, for further updates regarding the possible pre-orders, although it doesn't confirm that these will be available. Man, what a disappointment. Like, for people who really wanted this, like, I could imagine, like, if this was like a PlayStation 1 Classic and it was in high demand like this, and you could barely get one, and I like feel like I got one, and then all of a sudden it's taken away from me, I would feel like crap.
Yeah, people were not happy. My Twitter feed was blown up with a bunch of different people that were like, got my email, stupid Walmart, blah, blah, blah. I think Boogie was the most prominent one that I saw. Boogie 2988 was the most prominent one that I saw that his pre-order got canceled. Doesn't affect me. I wasn't going to buy it, but
you want to play Star Fox 2?
I do, but it's just not worth the freaking rat race to me. I'm like, God, Nintendo just make enough for everybody. Just make enough.
Why can't we just do this?
I don't want to punch some grandma in the face that's buying it for her 5-year-old grandson. I just don't want that. I don't want it.
I know that feeling though, when like you think you have something and then all of a sudden you don't have something.
Yeah. Your love life.
Wow. there. No, but awesome. Yeah, it was good burn, KB. Good
you're alone.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
ladies,
it sucks.
Gaming, hit me up.
Yeah, he's a real catch.
Like we have any.
His roommate's making meatless tacos.
Shirtless.
They got no art on the walls. Apparently, there's a sprinkler in their living room.
We do have art on the walls, or we will. It will only be this wall.
Like I said, it sucks for the people that were doing it. It's a huge disappointment. A retailer screwed up again.
At least they didn't leak the next Assassin's Creed.
No, Ubisoft does that on their own. They don't need a retailer to screw that up.
They do. Retailers always screw that up.
No, I know, but Ubisoft has the worst track record of keeping things a secret. Oh, let me just work on this really top secret game on the freaking BART in front of everybody. Oh, hey, guy sitting next to me, want to take a picture of my screen? Look at what I'm doing.
Well, I just don't understand. If you're on a train ride or something, just enjoy your ride. Just chill for a little bit.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, when my wife and I went up to San Francisco, we're looking for little spoilers, you know, we're looking for little things. So we went up to Lucasfilm, their computer animation department up there. We were definitely walking around. We were listening to little conversations that were happening in the Presidio, probably people that didn't even work for Lucasfilm, but you know, we're trying to spy. There's people out there looking to ruin things. If you work for one of these companies, just keep your mouth shut. And then people like me won't ruin anything.
Because I will pull out my phone. I will
totally ruin it.
Send it into IGN tomorrow.
Hey guys, Rey is Anakin reincarnated.
Ooh,
spoiler.
I like that take. Yeah. I like that take. God, I hope not. Midichlorian count is just too high.
Yeah. No, okay. Conversational podcast, right?
No, what if you're not about to defend midichlorians?
What if? No, okay. I will defend them to the point where I think it was the Sidious backstory book that's now a legend, where he is basically Anakin's dad. He's part of the Skywalker family because he manipulated the midichlorians inside of his mom to create him in the womb. I'm like, okay, why didn't George Lucas make that a thing? That would at least somewhat validate midichlorians. Somewhat.
Yeah, it makes. Yeah, I don't know. But I just don't understand, why can't Anakin just have a dad?
Right? Why does it got to be Jesus? I don't know. Why does it got to be an immaculate conception?
Stupid. God, I hate the original, or not the originals, the prequels so much.
Yeah, they're bad. Episode 1 in particular is really bad.
It really is. And the more you watch it, the more you hate it.
Yeah. The only redeeming thing about episode 1 is that freaking lightsaber battle. It's just so amazing. So good. And that is really probably the only reason I put it above episode 2.
Yeah.
Like episode 2 is bad. Episode 1 is way worse if it wasn't for that lightsaber fight. Now this is pod racing. Shut up, kid.
God, it's so bad.
Oh, Misa's so stupid. Oh.
All the kid actors too. Dude. What are you up to, Annie?
Jeez. Oh. You know that kid.
Remember when I dragged you to the theater to see that in 3D with me?
Yes. God, doing a 10-year-old a favor. I think you were like 12 at that point. But no, so I didn't realize this until years later. The kids that are all standing on the side watching Anakin work on his pod racer, the one that looks like Greedo, that's the same alien race, George Lucas originally intended them to name him in the movie.
Greedo.
It was Greedo. That's baby Greedo in episode 1, which is so stupid. Why does everything have to be connected? Guy, he is... I give him credit for creating this.
It's Greedo. We gotta put him in the movie because it's my original vision.
That was a pretty good impression towards the end. Started out a little Yoda-ish, little Frank Oz, and then it mellowed out. I was like, okay, sounds like George Lucas. But no, I got to give him credit. He created the greatest movie franchise in my life.
Yeah, the originals are amazing.
But it goes back to the thing with the TSA. Too much power to someone who doesn't have the skill.
Way to bring it back around.
It's just bad. Sorry, George. Thank you for selling it to Disney and giving it new life.
Thank you for creating it, but man, you should have stopped at 6 and sold it.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll get a prequels remake.
Oh, I hope so, man.
Yeah,
you got to imagine that they're looking at it and been like, that's a lot of money, and all we have to do is fix the things wrong with them. Because I like the worlds. I really do like the worlds of the prequels.
I don't like
Naboo's cool. Now Naboo should have been Alderaan, naturally.
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
Why didn't they just name it Alderaan?
You know, of all the connections that he did make, the obvious one, he was like, Princess Leia of Alderaan. Oh, Queen Amidala. Okay, that's how she's a prince. Oh, wait, no, that's a different planet. What? Anyway,
Doesn't make sense.
As long as the potential prequel remakes that we're dreaming of still talk about how terrible sand is, I'm good.
I hate sand.
It's coarse.
It's coarse.
It gets everywhere.
Gets everywhere. It makes me angry just talking about them.
How do they take showers in Star Wars?
There are people.
How did Anakin get the sand out of his crack? That's what I want to know.
They have showers. Or he just uses the Force. Like, you know the towel move where you take it in between your... You know the towel move where you take it in between your legs like that? They just take... He uses water, and he just does that with the Force.
And then, like, walks into Obi-Wan's room and, like, throws it in his face. Be like, that's my crack water. Yeah.
That's why he hated him.
Yeah. True story.
Such a hard time with him.
That's why Obi-Wan really chopped off both of his legs and an arm. It wasn't because he was Darth Vader. It was, hey, remember all those times you dropped your sweaty sand butt water in my face?
Brundle butter water on me.
Taking your legs.
Come on, George. Why didn't we get these inside stories?
Fan fiction. We'll write Star Wars fan fiction.
Yeah.
We'll make Anakin way more interesting.
Yeah, that's not hard to do, man. Still a little spice in there. Probably a better actor.
Awesome.
I was gonna say something about the prequels do. Oh yeah, there are people out there who like them. Like there are active people on my Facebook feed and my Twitter feed who defend these things.
Yeah.
To like the T.
There's people that still think O.J. Simpson didn't do it, but welcome to America.
You're not allowed to have these opinions. They're so bad.
Anyway, America, O.J. Simpson's a double murderer. Prequels suck.
Bill Cosby's off the case. He's not getting tried. Let's just forget about that one, though.
Ooh.
Yeah. Lovely time to be alive in 2017. I like how we equate Star Wars prequels to O.J. Simpson killing his family and Bill Cosby raping a bunch of women.
My childhood was raped. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, George. Thank you, Jar Jar.
And then the pick of the week, Kyle. Pick of the week, I assume, is going to be Splatoon 2.
Heck yeah, dude. I've been playing it like crazy, which segues into the conversation of the show.
Conversation of the show, Splatoon 2. What are your impressions? What do you think? Let's talk about that sick, nasty Splatoon.
More of the same from Splatoon 1. You know what you're getting. Multiplayer's the same. My wife was a little disappointed. There's something about it where I don't understand why this simple idea wasn't thrown in there, because Nintendo is famous for local multiplayer. Splatoon has no local multiplayer, which is a little bit of a letdown. Yeah, a little bit of a letdown. You can play Switch to Switch, but you can't use the Joy-Cons. You can't split the Joy-Cons and do it that way. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But the Joy-Cons themselves, when you look at all the buttons that you need for Splatoon online, makes sense. The Joy-Cons don't have enough buttons to support it, but it still kind of sucked. My wife was disappointed. But they added a mode, like a horde mode, survival mode, called Salmon Run, which is a lot of fun. Dumb thing about that is it's only open certain times of the day.
What?
Because the idea behind it is your little squid kid is getting hired. Like, it's a sketchy job that he's taking where this company is open from 11 p.m. to whatever. I can't remember the hours. It's in the game. You can look it up. But it's just a cool way where it's basically survival mode. You survive 3 rounds. There's different types of bosses, and you store up points to get gear, to get different kinds of gear. So it's just another game mode. Story mode's a little bit better. Kind of the same thing, still really shallow. But it's cool. There's still a lot of room to grow with Splatoon, which is awesome. So this is probably a game we're going to be getting a lot more of in the future, especially on the Switch. But I have had fun with it. I've played it nonstop. A little bit of a glitch that I've been exploiting to get a little more XP. Not going to tell everybody. Screw it. So, you know, the well, you don't know, but if someone watching plays Splatoon, you get food tickets, and you take those to a food truck, which it's really, there's a little bit of like a cannibalism aspect to this because you're a squid
Oh god.
and you go to a food truck that is run by no joke, a deep fried shrimp. Like he's got like a crusty skin, and then you buy deep fried fish from this food truck and it gives you an XP boost. So you get these tickets by either doing the salmon run or finding them in single player. If you find them in single player, you can keep going back to the spot you found them and pick them up. So you like there's one in area 2, go down, shoot a box, pick it up. Okay, cool. You leave the area, you come back, you shoot the box, and the ticket's grayed out. So it's like, oh, I already grabbed this. I can't grab it again. You can grab it again. It goes into your inventory. So I have like 15 of these XP booster tickets. Hopefully Nintendo doesn't punish me for exploiting that, but their fault. But Nintendo totally would. They totally would. They'd knock me down a couple levels.
Backwards.
But like I said, I'm having tons of fun with it. My wife wants to jump into it more. We have a 4-month-old, so he's kind of dependent on her right now for food. So she doesn't have as much free time as me. But no, it's so much fun. I'm loving it. Thing I'm not loving, freaking amiibos are impossible to find now. And I don't get it. I don't understand.
Did they release new amiibos for this game?
Yeah, so they had a new wave of
the same characters?
Different styles. So it's still Inkling Boy, Inkling Girl, and a squid, but the squid looks different. I have it somewhere. Yeah, I'll worry about it later. I was going to show you, but I was like, no, never mind. I only found the squid. And bear in mind, I went to like...
You try Amazon?
8 different stores. Amazon, they have them. They have the Inkling Girl. I don't really want that one. I don't care because they unlock gear.
Oh, because you're sexist.
No, I don't want my Inkling Boy to wear a schoolgirl's outfit.
Okay,
like,
so you hate
my Inkling Boy is cisgendered. Like he's not confused about who he is. He's straight. He's cisgendered Inkling Boy. So no, I don't want Inkling Girl because I don't want the schoolgirl outfit.
I want the schoolgirl outfit.
Of course you do. No, I went to GameStop to pick it up on last Friday. Go in, and I'm in line forever because it's freaking GameStop, and they offer 60 million things to you before you check out now, and they wonder why stores are closing.
Oh, would you like disc protection? No, it's okay. Oh, would you like to upgrade to our award program? No, it's okay. Oh, what about would you like to pre-order the deal? No. Okay. I'm okay.
So I'm sitting there in line, and there are these 2 parents, 2 different cashiers working, ringing people up, and it's 2 different parents. God love parents that go to GameStop for their children, but get out of my way. If you don't know what you're doing, GameStop's trying to screw you. Just know that. Their employees are trained to oversell you things. That is what they are told to do. And that is exactly what they were doing, and it was irritating me to no end. So I get up to the line, and I have my Stormtrooper shirt. I think you've seen it. It's got like the 9 Stormtrooper heads with all the different emotions, but it's the same helmet.
Featured in the famous Chris Barrett episode of the CT podcast.
Yeah. No, it's good. I love that shirt. The guy's like, oh, you're a Star Wars fan? I'm like,
no, I hate it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm wearing a shirt for nothing. Battlefront 2 is coming out, right? You want to throw down $5 on that? Right. No, I'm good. Well, because I was trading in MLB The Show because I stopped playing it. And he's
like, why is there a PS2 game coming out in 2006?
Well, let me see what we can do for you, because I think we could get you some extra trading credit for the games you brought in today if you throw $5 down. So I'm looking at the screen, and it says I'd be paying $40 for Splatoon. He does his thing, putting $5 on Battlefront, and then it says total is $43. I would have been paying $3 more if I threw $5 down on Battlefront. But because I know what I'm doing, like I was like, no, I'm good. Like, get that off of there. I will buy it when I'm good and freaking ready. Go away.
I'll buy it from Amazon, sir.
But again,
remember this face and don't ask me for anything ever again.
It just kills me because I'm like, how many parents are they screwing out of that extra $5? Granted, it's $5, but you are literally screwing someone out of $5. You're a cheap prostitute, GameStop, and it's not okay.
I'm dying. You're dead medium, sir.
And it kills me because GameStop was like the jam when I was in junior high. Now I cannot stand going in there. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I want to get in and get out as fast as possible.
No, I like it. I like their thinking stuff that they bought. Like,
oh, absolutely.
They bought thinking. I like looking around and seeing all the nerd crap that they have because I'm a huge man, baby.
Shout out to Funko Pops. They're growing on me. Not all of them. Some of them still look really stupid, and I can't get over it. But the ones that I look at and I like, I really like them. There's a Darkwing Duck one out there. Want that one really bad. Anyway, so I get up to the line, and he's giving me his spiel, asking me if I want to pre-order Battlefront 2. And I'm like, no, dude, I just want to pick up Splatoon and one of those amiibos because he had the squid and the boy behind him. He looks. Oh, no, dude, we set those aside for somebody. I'm sorry, what? You couldn't set my little brother, my 9-year-old little brother.
Oh.
You couldn't set a Switch aside for him? Same store. You couldn't set a Switch aside, which was $340 in revenue for your store, but you can set aside a $12 amiibo?
Did you say that?
Freaking kidding me? No.
Why did you say that?
I was fuming. I was like, no, I'm gonna say something inappropriate. This guy, I gotta leave.
Should have.
I was good. I was mellow, but I was pissed on the inside. But it just irritated me to no end, and I'm just like, God, every time I come in here, you guys piss me off. Every time.
And that's the one in Citrus Plaza?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Oh, man, I would have lost the KB. I don't know. You keep telling me the stories, and you handle the situation 1,000 times better than I'll ever handle it.
Which is funny because then I go to work and I complain, and my boss looks at me and she goes, "You're freaking Larry David. Your life is Curb Your Enthusiasm. You complain about everything." And they're all valid complaints, but they're like little things that nobody in the world would recognize but you. I'm like, that's fair. But Splatoon 2, great. My gripe, where's my freaking green Joy-Cons in America? All right. I want those.
Yeah.
I want those so bad. Those are the hotness, the new hotness. Not so much the pink. I want the pink. I want the green. So if somebody out there, when they do get released in America, wants like the pink Joy-Cons, hit me up and we can swap. And I'll give you my pink. You give me your green. We're good.
We good, homie. We good. We doing the old swap. Swap it shop. Now.
It's like when Mrs. Short had her shoe buddy on the other side of the country. For those of you that don't know.
That was a really obscure reference.
No, it's not. Sorry. Yeah, that's true. My Algebra 2 teacher, shout out to Rim of the World High School because geniuses come from there.
Yeah, Chip Gaming.
We don't know how to do math. My Algebra 2 teacher, I don't know if you had her, but she had one foot that was significantly smaller than the other. This is not me making fun of her at all. We asked, we're juniors in high school, we're jerks. But we were curious. So one of my buddies just straight up asked her one day, like, he raises his hand, he's like, I'm not being mean. I got to know, how do you buy shoes? He asked her this, and she was all cool about it. She's like, no, I have there's this group that I'm a part of online, and we buy the same kind of shoe. I have a person that I'm friends with that has the exact same problem, exact same size feet, swapped feet, like opposite feet. So we both buy the same kind of shoes. I send her the right shoe. She sends me the left shoe. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So it is like the Switch. It's a good reference. It's a good connection. It's a good
What
connection.
the heck?
I want the
I
green.
didn't know that.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
What group online? What do you think they're called? Bet you there's some weirdos in
Inch
there.
by inch.
Just want used shoes.
I don't know. No, she was a great lady. Not the best math teacher, but
Yeah, Room the World High School. Now, I wanted to say on the GameSpot people, going back to this, because I'm going back to this. When they ask you to pre-order stuff, it reminds me of like the people outside of the like Walmart or the Target or like the Albertsons that are like trying to get you to sign up for stuff. And that got my wheels turning. It reminds me of a Tom Segura bit in his stand-up where he's like, every time I see those people, I go up to them and say exactly the opposite of what they're saying. So they go, would you like to sign this to stop the Iraq war? And he goes, I love that war. That's my favorite war. They go, what? Like, really? And he's like, remember this face and don't ask me to sign shit again. He just walks away.
I'm going to have to try that next time. Next time I go on the GameStop. Like, I like my $5. I don't want to pre-order your crappy game. I don't want to increase your pre-order numbers. I want this store to close.
Remember this face.
Remember this face. Sir, then why are you in here buying things? Shut up. Shut up. Oh, God. I don't know how GameStop managers sleep at night, man. All the little old ladies, they jip out of the $2 game protection thing.
All the moms.
It's a Blu-ray disc. It's a Blu-ray disc. I don't need scratch protection.
That worked for PS2, and they didn't even offer it for the PS2 when the PS2 was around.
Right?
Remember those refurbishing machines that were always a ripoff that you thought worked?
Yeah, the video store did it in Running Springs. It worked. You know what I hated about PlayStation 2 was the stupid blue disc.
Oh,
the blue bottom disc.
I could go on and on about the blue disc. What a piece of crap.
They never worked ever.
Why?
I had one motocross game. I remember it. And I had to freaking open and close my tray 60 times if I ever wanted to play it. So then I figured out a trick. I had to jam like tape, like Scotch tape in the little finger ring. I had to jam like little pieces of Scotch tape all around that in order for my PS2 to catch the blue disc.
I don't understand. Wasn't it because it was like a CD instead of a DVD? Or wasn't it a DVD?
It was something. The disc was a little bit thinner compared to the normal PS2 game disc. So it just threw everything off.
Now, just imagine if the internet was like a prominent like force that it was now than if it was back then.
Oh yeah, Sony.
Like imagine how many that would just be unacceptable.
Sony wouldn't be producing any video game content anymore.
No, people would eat them alive if that happened today. Imagine right now if you bought a PS4 game and some PS4 games were like a blue disc and they just wouldn't work, and you have to open and eject it and put it in 60 times. Because I remember doing that too. Man. I had a trick. What I would do is I would and this worked. It's so weird how we'd find things to do like that back in the day, where you would put it in, you would close it, eject it, close it, eject it, close it, and then I would lift it. Like I'd lift it on its side and shake it a little bit, and it would get it to work.
Oh my gosh.
Like these janky things that you had to do to get this friggin' piece of hardware to work.
Kids today will never know the struggle. And it cracks me up. Like what they know is like the red ring of death. And even then, kids probably don't know that. But freaking cartridges, oh my gosh, you have to blow the dust out of them. I had a friend, no joke, he was a neighbor kid. He would lick his cartridges to clean them. And it was so disgusting. I'm like, why don't you just blow on it?
He used to lick them?
He would straight up just go, ah.
Oh, man.
And I let him borrow a game, and I looked at him square in the eye and said, don't lick my game. I let him borrow Banjo-Kazooie. He probably licked my game.
What a weirdo. Who would do that? No, I remember the Game Boy blowing out the cartridges. Man, what a time.
Yeah.
Another thing I remember doing, too, on the PS1, the motor wouldn't spin right away on the PS1. So I'd have to turn it on and like spin the disc, and then close the thing to get it to spin.
Oh man, good times, good times.
The good old days. Well, KB, we don't have any questions today because I didn't reach out for any questions today.
Way to go.
Yeah, I was slacking. So that's it. This has been the Chip Tooth Podcast.
Yeah. Star Wars raped my childhood. GameStop sucks. Mrs. Short was a nice lady. That's all you need to know from this.
Splatoon 2 was a really good game.
Yeah.
You forgot the whole conversation of the show. Well, if you enjoyed this episode of the Chip Tooth Podcast, go ahead and like the video down below. Go ahead and comment. Share it with your friends. Let us get bigger and better than ever. Help us grow. Help us actually make this into a career. Big things are coming for Chip Tooth Gaming. And if you want to keep up to date with everything Chip Tooth Gaming, you can go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Cheeks_Junior. You can follow Kyle at Sketchy Mailman. And you can follow Chip Tooth Gaming at CTG Vids on Twitter. We have a Facebook, so go check it. Links are all down below. Just go check it out. Browse, peruse our social media as you will. Kyle Bunyea.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to give me?
Yeah. Hashtag OJ did it.
Oh yeah. Obviously. I thought you were going somewhere else.
Did it.
Thank you for joining me today on the Chip Tooth Podcast. Until next time, players, I've been Mike Doherty. This is Kyle Bunyea. And we'll see you next week.